It's Monday, December 10th. Welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. I spent 13 hours in the theater on Saturday. I went to the Lord of the Rings marathon, all the extended versions back to back. It was amazing. And we had 30 minutes off between movies, and it took 13 hours. And, this is something that I try to do every year. But this was the first time that I've been able to see those movies since they were on the big screen when they came out. It's been a few years now. And it was amazing. You can tell I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, can't you? There's so many things that you see on the big screen that you don't necessarily see when you're watching it on something smaller. And if you ever have an opportunity to go to see the extended versions, 13 hours, you really should. 13 hours seems like a long time, but man, it flew by. Such a good trilogy. Anyway, the one thing that I always take home with me, that always comes to my heart when it's finished, is that feeling that you can do anything you really want to do if you work at it hard enough and if you believe that it can be done. I love that. And I love that because it fits in with my Christian faith very well. All through the Lord of the Rings, and you know the story, they're fighting insurmountable odds. Everything looks like it's bleak. There's no way that they should be able, to accomplish what they're trying to, and yet they do. And of course, the ending is just the best because everything is returned to its, to its natural place, and we see the return of the king, and it's just a great story. But I love this part. I love the fact that it gives us that kind of hope. And I think that hope is missing from a lot of media today, when it just seems like everything is bleak and there's nothing that can be done, and almost that the bad guys are winning way too many times. And I love the fact that, in the fight against good and evil, good wins. In the fight in the heavenly realms against good and evil, good wins. And I love the fact that I know the end of this story spiritually, and good wins. God wins. So that feels good. But how do you take the Lord of the Rings? How do you take the God wins mentality and apply it to your life? That's where it can get just a little bit tricky, huh? You may be saying today, Pastor Bob, I realize that God wins in the end. And I'm so glad that, that Frodo is actually able to win in the end. But what about my life? What about the situation that I'm facing today? What about my financial difficulties? I don't think I can make it. What about my relationship? It's falling apart. What about my spiritual life? I don't feel anything anymore. What about those real life situations? That's the reason that I'm a Christian today. I'm being very honest with you, very transparent. I wouldn't be a Christian if I didn't feel like it worked. I really don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of desire to follow something that didn't work for me, that I couldn't really believe wholeheartedly, because I'm really at heart a wholehearted person. I need to really dig into it or nothing at all. And I wouldn't be a Christian today if I wasn't convinced that it works for me and that it's real. That's just the way it is. So, what happens then? Well, I've been in those situations where it feels like, there's no way out. I've been in those situations where your emotions are so raw. You look to the heavens and say, God, if you want to bring me home right now, that would be okay. You've probably been there too. But in the middle of all of that, God makes a way. And I just want to encourage you with that today. That in your situation, whatever it might be, God is still making a way. He's still making a way. And even if you can't see the whole picture, He does. And He loves you enough to provide a way. God bless you. Have a great day.